88M Phase 1 exam questions and answers with complete solutions 100% correct, rated A+. First S-step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, perform 360 walk. Around inspection, placing chalk block behind semi-trailer wheels. Second step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, ensure both primary and secondary lock release handles are pulled out and L-lock guard is open. Ensure fifth wheel slide lock pin is in. Third step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, ensure that fifth wheel ramps are level with or slightly below the angle of the pickup ramps. Fourth step coupling procedures M915A5. ANSWERS heavy checkmark, slowly back tractor. Under semi-trailer kingpin plate. Stop when kingpin plate reaches back of fifth wheel. Semi-trailer kingpin should be centered as closely as possible in throat of fifth wheel. Fifth step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers though ensure that semi-trailer's kingpin plate is at the right height with the fifth wheel. If kingpin comes in too high, it will not engage in fifth wheel correctly. Adjust semi-trailer if needed. Sixth step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, connect air hose ES and light cables, push semi-trailer air supply, control valve handbrake, Johnny bar. Seventh step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark if semi-trailer is ABS equipped. An ABS electrical cable must be used. 1/3. Eighth step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers AOE, back up slowly until fifth wheel locks firmly to kingpin. A metallic click should be heard when the kingpin locks into fifth wheel. Ninth step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, check kingpin. Connection in fifth wheel slide locks by pulling tractor forward and backward. When resistance is felt, select transmission shift, selector neutral push button, and set parking brake. 10th STEP of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, verify that lock release handles are in. 11th step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, check semi-trailer lights, which include turn signals. 12th step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, lift and secure semi-trailer landing gear and stow flow pads. 13th step of coupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, stow wheel blocks. First step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, stop truck and semi-trailer. Second step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, shift transmission into neutral 2/3. Third step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, pull tractor and semi-trailer air supply valve out to apply the brakes. Fourth step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, block wheels as required. Fifth step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, place flow pads under semi-trailer landing gear and lower landing gear until space between fifth wheel and trailer is present. Seventh step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark, disconnect the for connectors on the trailer, starting with the connector closest to you and progressing to the ones furthest from you, and stow semi-trailer air supply lines and intervehicular cable. Eighth step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy checkmark if equipped with ABS, disconnect, and stow ABS electrical cable. Ninth step of uncoupling procedures M915A5. Answers heavy check mark, pull secondary. Lock release handle, 2. Out, and lift to engage catch. 10th step of uncoupling procedures, M915A5. Answers heavy check mark, pull primary lock. Release handle, 1. OUT. 11th step of uncoupling procedures, M915A5. Answers heavy check mark release. Parking brake and slowly pull forward. Stop when semi-trailer reaches the pickup. Ramps. Powered by TCPDF, www.tcpdf.org. 3/3.